Hello everyone, Vito's A32 back again, and I have a deck review for you today that I wasn't quite sure I would ever do because I never thought I would see this deck, but I did. Not only that, but also some other goodies, dice and chips that I'll show you quickly. The dice are red on black, and you got the spade pip on the number one side. Kind of hard to make it out, but it's in there. Um, Pretty cool. I like the red on the black. Also some poker chips, and I don't remember ordering this stuff, but I got it anyway. One has a 0, it's white. A 1 in red. Dos in blue. Apparently 5 in green. And 10 in black. So, pretty nice. This is from a project that it was designed by Milan Kolovic, who was from Europe, so he couldn't do the project on Kickstarter himself, especially back then in 2012, I guess it was, when the project came out. And so he found Ed Nash at Altius Management, and he agreed to do the project for him on Kickstarter. But Ed Nash ended up taking the money and effing off, basically. And nobody ever thought we'd see his next. 2 years go by. Finally, he gets taken to court by Washington state attorneys for not fulfilling his obligations on Kickstarter, and he lost. He ended up getting fined over $50,000, which is more than double the $25,000 he made on the project. And on top of that, at some point in time, he decided, screw it. He had the decks produced, and he started to very, very slowly fulfill them. I say slowly because I think it took about 2 months for me to get my decks from the time I started seeing comments that people were actually receiving them. Anyway, overall, it's basically the same thing as the, I'm going to call them reprints, that Noir Arts did on Kickstarter earlier this year. Aside from there's only one version, and it's Bicycle branded USPC made. Top says Bicycle playing cards, bottom says Asylum. You see the chick in a kind of a female version of a straitjacket. Excuse me. Side says United States Playing Card Company. 56 cards, including 2 jokers, double back card, and an X card, because it's very important to state that fact on the tuck case. But whatever. And you see a spade whip. The other side says Asylum, designed by Milan Kolovic. Top says Poker, made in USA, with a spade tip under the seal somewhere. Bottom, barcode, and which is upside down apparently, and bicycle trademark stuff. The back, you see the back design, it's exactly the same as the reprints, and it has a USB-C seal on it. Bicycle trademark stuff on the flap, and spade pips. So yes, you do get the X card, which just has a giant X in the middle and in the indexes. Could be used as a gaff card or a gimmick, whatever you want. Here's your back design. It's just a bunch of bricks, like a wall that's falling apart, and all sorts of other little details. The center part looks like it's a metal gate or something on the Asylum, I guess. You do get a double backer as well. I'm not a big fan of how these borders work, especially in the corners. It looks overly thick. It'd be nice if these curves were matched up with the actual corner on the card, so that you had a nice even border. Aside from that, it's not bad. Jokers, it says Joker in the corners, both horizontally and vertically, and in black, and you see, well, kind of in a psychotic Joker, and in this one there is red coloring. And then you get the Ace of Spades, which has a sailboat in the center. One thing you will notice on the faces of the cards is newspapers. It's like wanted ads and whatnot. Kind of interesting. This one says it's approved. Big stamp of sealed blood. This one has a fly on it or some kind of a bug. And this one has an old time wagon or trade wagon soy in it. Kind of interesting. Court cards feature, well, patients in the asylum, and some are orderlies and nurses. As you can see, you get your standard index. You also get a pip in there, kind of faded in the background, that has a letter in it to help you further identify what it is, which I think is a nice added touch. The artwork again is the same as the reprints that were done on Kickstarter. I would have preferred, I mean, they did do some additional court cards, different court cards in one deck, and they added some cut cards and whatnot. But I would have preferred if they had done a little bit more than just reusing the same artwork. Number cards, custom pips. That one was really big pips. Smaller pips, sideways pips, upside down pips. They're all over the place. Blood, smears. Pretty interesting. Overall, basically, I don't remember what I rated the last deck, unfortunately. But it's basically the same thing, as far as the ratings are concerned. And I'm sure when this deck was originally released on Kickstarter, a lot of people feel this way. When it was originally released on Kickstarter a couple of years ago, it's probably pretty cutting edge. But now, with all the decks that we see on Kickstarter, this just isn't quite up to snuff. But anyways, it's nice to finally get this deck for my collection. I'm very happy about that. It makes me regret spending the money on those other Asylum decks, but if I didn't do that, I might not have any. As far as the artwork is concerned, completely custom. It's well done. I'm not really sure I understand the back design or how it fits with the grand scheme of things, but the faces are pretty cool. So I will say 4 out of 5. As for handling purposes, bicycle stock, Irkus and Finis, handles very good. It's definitely better quality deck than the Noir Arts versions, without a doubt. That was one thing that I was a little bit disappointed about. So I will say 4 out of 5 for handling purposes, at the very least. For usability, definitely, you could probably get away with using this for some kind of Halloween-themed card trick or something like that. You probably wouldn't want to use it for playing poker or card games or anything like that. Unless you're playing a card game like Murder, then it fit perfect. So, I mean, it does have some usability, but it's also not the most usable deck or practical deck for certain things. In my opinion, I mean, you could do whatever you want. You can play poker with your friends on Halloween with this deck. You can do a Halloween-themed card trick. Whatever you like. Definitely, you could easily identify number cards. Even court cards are pretty easy to identify. So, I'll say 4 out of 5. Perhaps. So overall, definitely like a 4 out of 5 for this deck. It is better than the reprint, that's for sure, just because just with the quality alone, it's much better than the reprints. And anyways, that is that. What can you buy this one? Forget about it. If you're a backer, you'll be lucky to get them. If you weren't a backer, I suggest getting the reprints if you really want it. And that'd probably be on More Art's website. Anyway, that is that. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Check out collectiblepointcards.com for a lot of other great decks. Use the code VJOSE32. You get 10% off your order. That's what I got. See you next time. Thanks for watching.